Think about this for a second. Almost half of what you do every single day is not a conscious decision. It's not something you carefully sought out or sometimes even what you intended to do. It's a habit. Research from Duke University shows that nearly 40 to 50% of your daily actions are habitual. That means nearly half of your life is lived on autopilot. Now, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. If your autopilot is set to healthy routines like eating well, managing stress, and exercising, then your habits should be working for you. But if your autopilot is set to endlessly scrolling on your phone, skipping workouts, or late night snacking, then your habits are likely working against you. Stay until the end of the video where I'll show you the science-backed secret formula to building any habit. Now, how do we take control back? How do we build habits that stick and break ones that no longer serve us? The answer lies in science. Neuroscience, psychology, and behavioral research have uncovered powerful insights into how habits form, how they stick, and how they can be reshaped. And in this video, we're going to be exploring all of it. By the end, you'll know the science-backed strategies to rewire your brain and design the life that you want, leading you one step closer to your W's. Oxford Dictionary defines a habit as a settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. A habit is a behavior that, when repeated enough time, becomes automatic. Instead of requiring conscious thought, it simply runs in the background. Here's what's happening in the brain. Habits are stored in a region called the basal ganglia. This part of the brain is responsible for motor control, routines, and automatic behaviors. Meanwhile, conscious decision-making happens in the prefrontal cortex, the rational thinking part of the brain. When you first try a new behavior like learning how to drive, the prefrontal cortex is working hard. You're thinking about every move and likely overthinking it too. But over time, as you repeat the behavior, control shifts to the basal ganglia. That's why experienced drivers can navigate easily while holding a conversation, listening to music, or even texting and driving, which you should never ever do. Thus, the behavior becomes automatic. Researchers at MIT discovered the habit loop. It has 3 parts. The first part is the cue, the trigger that tells your brain to start the behavior. The second part is the routine, aka the behavior itself. And the third is the reward, the positive outcome that reinforces the habit. For example, when you feel stressed, you might lean towards chocolate, which results in temporary relief. Over time, your brain learns to crave the reward and the loop becomes automatic. And here's where dopamine comes in. Dopamine isn't just the pleasure chemical. It actually spikes in anticipation of the reward, not just when you get it. Kind of like when you're excited for the new release of an iPhone, and when you finally get it, you realize it's pretty much the same thing as what you had before. That anticipation is what drives you to repeat behaviors. This is why habits are so sticky. Your brain learns to crave the reward long before it receives it, often working against you. You've probably heard the saying, it takes 21 days to build a habit. Unfortunately, that's a myth. The truth actually comes from a 2009 study done at the University College London. Researchers followed 96 people as they tried to learn a new habit. They found that, on average, it took about 66 days for a behavior to become automatic. But the range was quite large. Some people formed habits in as little as 18 days, while others took as long as 254 days. So the real answer is, it depends. It depends on the complexity of the new habit you're trying to take on, the consistency of practice, and the environment. Drinking a glass of water after having a morning coffee might take a few weeks. Running every morning might take several months. For myself, ditching my takeout habits took almost 5 years, while quitting smoking took just 1. The key takeaway is this. Habit formation is not about a number of days. It's about repetition and consistency. Missing a day does not ruin your progress. Missing a day does not make you a colossal failure. What matters is showing up again and again until that behavior becomes your identity and is a part of how you perceive yourself. You need to keep trying no matter how many times you fail, because failure does not define you. Quitting, however, does. Now here's one of the most powerful insights from behavioral science. Small habits matter than big goals. BJ Fogg, a researcher at Stanford, developed what's called the tiny habits method. His advice is to start ridiculously small. If you want to floss, start with 1 tooth. If you want to exercise, start with 2 push-ups. If you want to drink more water, start with 1 sip. Break the habit down into the smallest possible step or a micro task, and just commit to one of those steps. Why? Because small habits are easier to start. They don't require much motivation, and once you start, momentum will build. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, explains it this way. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. The same way that money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them. A 1% improvement every day doesn't feel like much, but over a year, it makes you 37 times better. And here's the neuroscience. Every repetition strengthens neural pathways through a process called myelination. Think of it like insulating electrical wires. The more you repeat a behavior, the stronger and faster the signal becomes. That's why practice becomes permanent. Not perfect, I said permanent. I wrote an article on 10 ways to create habits for lasting change. I'll pin it in the comments for you. Here's another secret. Your environment shapes your habits far more than willpower does. Habits are context dependent. Whether you notice it or not, your environment provides cues that triggers your behavior. For example, studies show that people eat more popcorn at the movie theater even when the popcorn is stale. Why? Because the environment, the dark room, the big screen, it triggers the habit of eating while watching. And to add to that, studies also show that eating while you're watching TV results in more calories being mindlessly consumed. So if you want to change your habits, start with changing your environment. And no, I don't mean you need to move out of your shared apartment or move out of your city or change jobs. No. We're focusing on what you can do today. Make your good habits obvious. Put a water bottle on your desk. Throw your gym bag in your car. Or always keep your workout clothes with you. Always take the way home that passes by the gym. Reduce friction or extra steps with good habits. Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Meal prep so there's always something healthy in the fridge. Making it easier for you to make dinner instead of ordering takeout. And increase friction for bad habits. Move your social media apps off of your home screen. Turn off your Wi-Fi in the evening. And lastly, try to make bad habits invisible. Hide the junk food, hide the liquor. Approach your routines differently so you're not making the same choices as you did yesterday. If you know you spend the evening snacking while watching TV in the living room, try instead to read a few pages of a book in your bed. Being in a different environment will cue different behaviors. Behavioral economists call this the principle of least effort. Humans naturally take the path of least resistance. If you design your environment in a way that the good habit is always the easiest option, you'll do it without thinking. We all know that motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes, like the people in my life, and you're almost never going to just feel like it, especially when you're trying to form a new habit. No one feels like waking up at 5 in the morning. Are you kidding me? No one wants to work 12-hour days. Come on. But we do this crap because it gets us closer to who we want to be. Psychologist Roy Baumeister, I'm butchering that for sure. Roy's research on willpower shows that it's like a muscle. It gets tired with overuse. And just so we're on the same page, the definition of willpower is control exerted to do something or restrain impulses. Let that sink in. Essentially, ego depletion states that you have a limited amount of willpower, so a limited ability to control and/or restrain yourself. This is why we do not rely on willpower and motivation to get stuff done. Discipline, however, is defined as the self-control that is gained by requiring that rules or orders be obeyed and the ability to keep working at something that is difficult. Has it sunk in yet? We need to build discipline. And the best way to do that on top of changing your environment and making your goals microscopic is to lean into a new system. If the goal is the outcome, then the system is the process, meaning your how is more important than your why. If you want to lose 10 pounds so you look amazing for upcoming family holiday pictures, your system is more important than your why. Because you and I both know that wanting to look hot for Hot Girl Summer has never stopped us from eating a whole bag of chips before. So the system is your process, it's your how. You build discipline by leaning on your system and making that system your identity. If you want to lose weight, your process could be exercising 3 times a week and meal prepping on Sundays. Now, this isn't something that we just do, it's who we are. It doesn't even matter that you want to lose 10 pounds anymore. What matters is our system getting us closer to that goal every single day. It doesn't matter that I want a nice car. What am I doing every day to get it? It doesn't matter if I want a dolphin. What am I doing every day to get it? Systems reduce decision fatigue. Systems build discipline. Instead of asking yourself day in, day out, should I work out today? What am I having for dinner? You've already built that into your routine. It's not a question, it's what you do. Over time, the system becomes automatic, and the results take care of themselves. Now that I've changed your life, do you want to show me some love? Like, subscribe, be part of my awesome W acquiring tribe? Seriously though, can you? Rewards are the glue that hold habits together. B.F. Skinner's research on operant conditioning shows that behaviors followed by rewards are more likely to be repeated. But here's the catch. The brain values immediate rewards more than long ones. This is called temporal discounting, and it's the same reason why we'll choose to go out for dinner and spend $200 instead of putting that $200 away into our retirement fund, despite the long-term benefits of saving, like capitalizing on compound interest. How do you hack this? Pair habits with immediate rewards. Watch your favorite TV show only after you've worked out. Reward yourself with a hobby after you've gotten the hard part of the day over. Light your favorite candle only after you finish cleaning your space. Set conditions so that you only get rewarded after you get the hard things done. Yes, I'm looking at you. You need to start doing the hard things first. The challenge is bad habits don't just disappear overnight. In fact, some will take years to change. And that's okay. Let's just do this mindset shift together. It's okay. We'll take this one day at a time. Bad habits are stored in the basal ganglia and they can be replaced. The strategy is to keep the cue and the reward, but change the routine. You have to do something different. If you come home and immediately have a glass of wine and scroll on your phone for an hour, then instead you might opt to come home, have a cup of tea or kombucha, and scroll on Deep Stash instead. If you don't know what that is, it's an app where instead of getting bombarded by a bunch of media, it's like a micro-learning app. So you just scroll, but you learn as you're scrolling. It's designed for doom scrollers and really great if you're one of those people that just like has an itch to open your phone and scroll, which, I mean, who doesn't nowadays? So our cue is coming home after a stressful day. Our old routine is having a glass of wine and sitting and scrolling on social media. The new routine is tea and Deep Stash, and our reward is stress relief and evening relaxation. And on top of that, a healthy wind down routine. So we'll condition ourselves to accept tea as our new relaxant, while our micro-learning app will give us the dopamine hit and not destroy our mental health in the process. We can even add an extra reward on top of this one to really incentivize the process. For an example like this, it will probably take quite some time to feel the reward. Comparing wine to tea is like comparing chocolate to an apple. But remember, you can get ahead of this by getting artificially excited about getting home and having your tea. When you're at work and your coworker is getting on your last nerve, imagine the warm cup of tea in your hand while your lower half sinks into the couch. As a former daily drinker, something Delulu that I used to do is actually get excited about coming home and drinking during the day when I got stressed out. But then when I actually got home, that excitement, the urge, the craving had pretty much already faded. So I did just have a nice tea. Mindfulness research shows that simply being aware of your triggers and cues reduces automaticity. When you notice the urge, create the space to choose a different response. So don't just try to eliminate bad habits, replace them with healthier routines. Ideally, ones that deliver the same reward, or as close to as possible. And just remember, this may take some time and it may take several attempts with different approaches. Habits are a fickle beast, and even someone like myself who's dedicated my entire life to self-development still struggles with old habits. It's actually quite unfortunate how easily they come back. I feel like they're like predators, just waiting for a moment of weakness, or for me to slip out of my new routine to make an appearance. And they know I'll bite. But I am determined to do better and to put my vices behind me. And I believe that you can do this too. Keep learning and keep going. If you're still with me, from the bottom of my heart, I kindly thank you and really appreciate the support for this channel. Genuinely, I think about my viewers all the time. So if there is a video you want me to make or a topic you want me to discuss, please let me know in the comments below. I live to serve you all. Habits don't just live in your brain. They actually spread through your social network. In 2008, researchers from the American Journal of Public Health studied smoking behaviors in large social networks. They found that when one person quit smoking, their closest friends were 36% more likely to quit as well. And even friends of friends showed an increased likelihood of quitting. Why? Because behaviors are influenced by the people around us. That's why accountability works. Publicly committing to a habit increases the chance of sticking with it. Group programs, accountability partners, or online communities all boost success rates. Speaking of accountability, you need to track your habits. I made a whole video about this. I've said it before, and I'll say it 1,000 times more. Tracking is the best self-accountability tool out there. You literally get a dopamine hit just by being able to write that you did your goal for that day. Neuroscience also shows that mirror neurons fire when we observe others performing behaviors. That means seeing someone successfully resist a cigarette or choose a healthier coping strategy can activate similar brain regions in us, making imitation more likely. For example, if someone trying to quit smoking spends more time with peers who enjoy their breaks doing short walks or engage more in socialization, their brain is more likely to mirror healthier routines. And as a former smoker, I completely agree with this. Working in environments where literally everyone smoked made me pick up smoking again. But when I worked in other places where smoking just wasn't common amongst my coworkers, then I would stop. Over time, this social modeling strengthens the new behavior and makes it easier to maintain. So if you want to build better habits, surround yourself by people that already live the way that you want. After all, we are the 5 people that we are the closest with. So try to surround yourself with people who are already getting the results that you want. 2 often overlooked factors in habit formation is sleep and stress. Sleep consolidates memories, including habit learning. Poor sleep impairs the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for self-control and decision-making. That's why sleep-deprived people are more likely to skip workouts and make poor food choices. Stress pushes the brain towards habitual behaviors. Under stress, people revert to old habits, good or bad. Chronic stress increases cortisol, which weakens the prefrontal cortex and strengthens automatic responses. The lesson? If you want to build better habits, prioritize sleep and manage stress. Meditation, journaling, exercise, and social support all help. Now the part we've all been waiting for. The secret to building health with science. It's designing a system that works with your brain, not against it. Here's the formula in 6 steps. For the cue, be aware of your triggers and prepare accordingly. For the routine, anchor the habit to an existing routine, otherwise known as habit stacking. For example, after brushing your teeth, read 5 pages of a book. The only way I got used to using a cold plunge was by doing it immediately after exercise. I couldn't get into the morning cold shower thing, and also when is a good time to stop your day to go freeze your butt off in a cold pool. The only time it really made sense is to do it immediately after I exercise at home. Thus, I nailed my goal by using habit stacking. Start small and repeat consistently. Number 3, add a reward. Add immediate gratification. Have an incentive. Get excited. Have a reason to do the hard thing. Environment. Shape your surroundings to support the habit. Take the extra time to set yourself up for success. Putting in the extra effort will encourage you to see the action as part of your identity. Number 5, seek social support. Surround yourself with people that reinforce your behavior. Reach out. Find online communities or content creators that are going through the same experience that you are. You can challenge friends to take on new habits with you. Half of my circle quit smoking together. We would text each other every day, checking in, offering support. We were all far more likely to stick to it because we were all doing it together. And finally, exercise patience and work on your attitude. Remember, habits take weeks to months to even years, not days. You're not a failure because you got really drunk and picked up McDonald's on the way home and then woke up really hungover and missed your workout session and also didn't go to work. You're not a failure and you are not destined to fail. Yes, you have a lot working against you, but you also have a lot working for you too. Lean into your determination, build discipline, and talk to somebody about it. Everyone has vices they want to leave behind, and even the most intelligent, educated, and privileged people all succumb to human nature. Accept that there are seasons in life where you just won't be where you want to be or who you want to be. But you can do this. You can. You just need to be patient and believe that you can too. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. I would love a thumbs up and a comment if this hit for you. Be sure to watch my video on tracking habits and check out my blog. Remember, you are always one step away from making progress. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.